Hello teachers and future teachers. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a must-have skill for educators, that is lesson planning. As a TESOL trainer, I consider lesson planning one of the most important aspects of teaching, as poor planning often leads to poor classroom management, misbehavior, and of course not achieving our goals by the end of the lesson or the end of the course. In this video, I will be breaking the lesson planning down into two essential parts: what needs to be included in a lesson plan and how to structure a lesson plan for maximum engagement and learning. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, practical approach to creating lesson plans that work every time. Okay, so part one, what needs to be included in a lesson plan? Let's start with the core components. These are the basics of any effective lesson plan. Here's what you should include. 1. Objectives. Your lesson objectives are the ultimate goal. What should students be able to understand or do by the end of the lesson? The more specific, the better, as it will help you and your students stay focused. For example, by the end of this lesson, students will be able to talk about future plans using the modal verb I would. 2. Age and level of students. Tailoring your lesson to students' age and language level is essential. For instance, younger students might need more interactive elements, while advanced learners might be ready for complex grammar structures. So number 3, skills taught. Outline the language skills you'll be focusing on. For example, reading, writing, speaking, listening, or a combination of these. Pronunciation, spelling, vocabulary, and grammar are taught alongside the 4 main skills. This gives you a clear direction and ensures activities are purposeful. Number 4, timing. Estimate the time for each section of the lesson to keep things running smoothly. This way you can adjust if you're running ahead or behind, and ensuring every part of the lesson receives the right amount of attention. With these details in place, you're ready to move on to structuring the lesson itself. Part 2, how to structure your lesson plan. The structure is where your lesson really comes to life. Following this structure will ensure your lesson flows well and engages students from start to finish. First thing, warm up. Begin with a warm up. Energize your students and get them thinking in English. This could be a quick game, a fun quiz, or something related to the lesson's topic. The goal here is to build a positive atmosphere and help students transition into English mode. 5 minutes is usually all you need, and this time can be used as a review or simply to get them ready for the lesson. Now remember, the topic of the warm-up doesn't necessarily need to be related to the topic of the lesson. And yes, these should be done every single day. Number 2, the Leaden. Use the Leaden to introduce the main topic of the lesson. This will help connect the lesson's content with the students' prior knowledge or experiences. It's also a great time to let the students know what they're about to learn. For example, if the topic is fruits, you might want to bring a basket with fruits. Or if the lesson is at the restaurant, you could set up a table with 2 chairs and a menu in the center. Making it visual is key. Third is teaching 1. Vocabulary focus in the first teaching segment. Introduce keywords that students will need to understand the topic. Vocabulary is usually the first thing, so students have the words they need for the lesson's activity and discussions. Use visuals, gestures, or real-life examples, aka realia, to help the words stick. Then, reinforce these vocabulary words with a quick activity like matching the word with the image, filling in the blank, to ensure that they're ready to use these terms. We have plenty of videos in this channel with tips for teaching vocabulary and activities. I will list them below. 4th, activity 1, vocabulary practice. After teaching 1, it's time for the students to actively use the new vocabulary. This could be a simple activity like pair work, where the students use the new words in a sentence, or a quick game of vocabulary relay. This activity gives students immediate practice with new terms, making them more comfortable for the next part of the lesson. 5th, teaching 2, grammar focus. Now the students are familiar with the vocabulary, move on to the grammar structure related to the lesson. This could be anything from sentence structure to verb conjugations or tenses, depending on the level. Explain the grammar, point clearly, and show how it connects with the vocabulary from teaching 1. Break down the grammar rules, use examples, and ask questions to check understanding. If you'd like us to make a video on teaching grammar, please let us know in the comments. Sixth, activity 2, grammar practice. Follow up with a grammar activity where students get to apply the grammar rules. This could be filling the blank in sentences, creating sentences using the vocabulary and grammar points, or even a short dialogue in pairs. Practicing the grammar in context reinforces students' understanding and prepares them for real-life usages. It's always recommended to use some speaking during this part. Seventh, follow-up. This is where you recap the lesson, go over the vocabulary and grammar briefly, and answer any final questions. This helps consolidate what students learned and clear up any lingering confusion before they leave the class. Eighth, homework. Of course, students' favorite, not. Assign homework to reinforce the lesson outside of the class. For example, if the lesson was on food vocabulary and present tense, students could write down sentences or a short story using both. Homework keeps the learning process going and helps students review. Ninth, backup. Always have a backup activity in case you finish early or students need extra practice. Additionally, if the lesson allows, you could add teaching 3 and activity 3, diving deeper into the topic or adding extra grammar or vocabulary. That, of course, will depend on the timing of your lesson. And there you have it, a complete lesson plan structure with everything you need to make each class engaging and effective. With clear objectives, a solid structure, and engaging activities, you'll keep students interested and make each lesson memorable. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe for more teaching tips, and let me know in the comments what's a must-have in your lesson plan. If you'd like to receive weekly teaching tips straight to your email, join our free teaching newsletter, link in the comments. If you need tips on how to teach beginners, click here. For tips on fun activities, click here. Adrian Rogers, signing out. Thank you for watching and happy teaching.